I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
I'm an alcoholic, and I have been through the process with the help of a Big Book Step Study sponsor, a loving higher power, lots of these meetings, and I'm still working on a couple of amends and 10, 11, and 12 on a daily basis. And I was sitting here thinking it's amazing for this person here, to feel comfortable to be sitting here and to talk to you about what I'm going to talk to you about, because I know you get me and you get what I'm about. And that, what a gift, because I was with some people this week and I made reference to some spiritual observations I had, and they kind of said, oh yeah, she's religious. Not religious, no. I mean, I have a religion, but that is not what was not what I was sharing, but you'll get it. So, I think what sums this up for me in this program is this is not a self-help program. It's not a fellowship program. It's a God solution. That's what it is for me, or a spiritual solution. However you want to voice this power greater than yourself. I have no problems with people with different ideas. But I just want to go back and just explain a little bit about who I was before this, or how I lived my life before this. And pretty much I was a nerdy, self-conscious, insecure, emotional controller. So I didn't merge well with the rest of society. Let me just say that. And I had a lot of opportunities to find out that I wasn't making it in this world in a lot of ways. Now, I could work real hard and get good grades, and I could go in and do a job. I was capable of that. But having relationships, really feeling comfortable with people, feeling comfortable with me, not what I was. So even from a really early age, and I think a lot of us, this whole thing starts way back, way back in our personalities. I looked for ways to make myself feel better. I was a thumb sucker, and I had my teddy bear. And that was my first solution. You don't feel good, get your thumb, get your teddy bear, and things will get better. And then I graduated from that, and I found some other things that were not terribly inappropriate, but to the excess, they were not healthy. And I wasn't growing and maturing and developing a healthy personality, because all I ever did was go back and use those same kind of outside tools. I wanted people's approval, I wanted to be liked, I wanted to be admired, I wanted my opinion listened to. I mean, all of those things were my solutions. And so then, I can remember it wasn't until I got to college that I met alcohol. And not only did alcohol comfort me, but I had a social group. All of a sudden, I was hanging out with cool people. At least that's what I thought, These were the people I wanted to be like. They were having fun. They were partying. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just trying to find a solution. So, when I read this on page 52, we were having trouble with personal relationships. Check. We couldn't control our emotional natures. Oh my God, no. We were prey to misery and depression. We couldn't make a living. Well, I could make a living. I have to say I was making a living. We had a feeling of uselessness. Oh yes. We were full of fear. We were unhappy. We couldn't seem to be of real help to other people. Oh yeah, did I want to think I had the answer for others? But it never was. And was not a basic solution of these bedevilments more important than whether we should see newsreels of lunar flight? Of course it was. And then I go over onto page 53, the next piece in this that absolutely grabs me is the line that, let's see, that God is everything or else he is nothing. And I'm going to put in a different word, because for me, God doesn't have a gender. I'm going to say they are nothing, God either is or they aren't. What's our choice to be? Well, I'm going to tell you something. This step continues in my life today. I mean, I finally decided that God was. I had a religion. So I thought I already had, addressed this issue of God, but I hadn't. The spiritual life I have today is only a nodding acquaintance with what I believed in the past. It is so much more, and I'm working on this. This is the piece that I am continuing. It's that idea that God is within me. It's not something out there. God's within me. I am a child of God. I am perfectly made. God made me the way I am. I was supposed to be the way I am. And when I am living according to how I understand this power to be directing me, my life goes well. And I mean in every instance of my life. And when I forget this, and I do, believe me, I go back to that old, well-worn path that Stephanie can have an answer. Oh, let me help you. Let me help me. Let me take care of that situation. So many times I do that. But most recently, I had my daughter in my home and her husband and her little girl, and we were having a big deal going on with a birthday party. And what I was able to do was ask God, just direct me to what you would have me be in this situation. What do you want? And I'm going to tell you, miraculously, I didn't have any clashes or blow-ups or issues with my daughter. I had that moment of clarity where I could stop myself, okay, where are you in this, God? Where do you want me to be? How should I handle this? Instead of just, I'm so impulsive. I'm ADD to the max, and I've been told that's no longer a correct term, I don't think they use it anymore, but I don't know. Anyways, I am very impulsive. I am extremely impulsive. And to have that moment of pause and to be able to stop and say, God, what do you want? It's miraculous. And the other thing I can tell you about is an incident, and you can believe it as a God moment, or you can say, she's a little bent on that. But I was driving back from New York. I had 2 people in my car. So the fact that it was going to impact other people was a big factor in my brain. I had neglected to stay in touch with my gas gauge. And I looked down, I was on the Mass Pike, and I had 14 miles left of gas consumption. So I'm thinking, next exit, next rest area, where is it coming up? Oh my God. I finally shared it with the people in the car. They were a little bit anxious. It was dark. And I took that moment, I took a deep breath, and I asked for guidance. What do I do, God? And I heard this. Oh my God, I heard this in my brain. Wait till you're down to about 2 miles. If you haven't found an exit or a place to stop at that point. So I'm getting down close to there, and I'm going through all this territory that was being a lot of construction. So Jersey barriers, barrels, no place to pull off. And I'm thinking, oh God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? At exactly the point where it went down to 1 mile, there was a stop of the construction. There was an area to pull off. I pulled off. This is unbelievable, but I don't think God put the truck there, but directed me, said, I have a plan for you. It's going to be okay. I pulled off. There was a DOT truck who was sitting behind another car that had broken down. I got out of my car. I went over to the man. I said, I'm in trouble. I don't have enough gas. He said, no problem. Go back to your car, open the gas tank, and I'll put gas in. It wasn't even, 5 minutes. I couldn't have gotten into a gas station and gotten gas that fast. And I drove away, and I'm saying to these people, oh my God, I'm so grateful. God took care of me. Oh my goodness, I was led, and they're like looking at me like, okay, okay, whatever, But that was God to me. God took care of me. That's what, God doesn't make magic, but He gives me direction, or they give me direction. The other thing I'll talk about is in the sponsoring area and thinking about sharing this with people that are new to the program or who haven't resolved this step 2. I've had amazing, miraculous things with people who came in saying they absolutely did not believe in God. They would not rely upon God. This was not going to be a solution for them. And, I could peddle my wares someplace else. And I had the good sense to sit back and say, okay, well, you can try it however you want. I know what's worked for me, and that's what you seem to be asking me, is how it worked for me. And we read these pages and we talked about them. And I'm thinking of one particular person who said, okay, I'll try it. I'll just try it. I said, yeah, just try it. Just ask for help, ask for the help. You don't have to go beyond that. That's enough. Start with asking for help. And they did. And today this person is like, I hear so much spiritual stuff coming out of her mouth, I can't even believe it. I'm like, woohoo, where did you come from? But, it is the answer. It is the answer. It's what this, I have a trifold disease. And the only way that physical and mental component get better for me is through my spiritual life. I couldn't make this happen on my own. I could not make the changes happen. My personality is altered. I'm not saying changed, but it is altered. It's polished a little bit more. I'm a much better listener. I don't have to have the answers. I love more freely because I've learned to have a little bit more appreciation for me, so I can look at you and say, you're pretty doggone good. I don't have to put myself above you or below you. And I can't say enough about what the spirituality of this program has done for me and continues to do for me, and the growth that I still am working on it every day. It's not a one and done thing for me. So, and I'll stop there. Thank you.